This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, July the 16th, is a cycling icon. No, not that disgraced one. He actually won 5 straight Tour de France's from 91 to 95. The 4th person to do that. Obviously, there was the 5th. There was a 5th, but he's now disgraced. We don't talk about him. But anyway, this guy actually also won the Giro d'Italia twice, the big race in Italy, becoming one of only 7 cyclists to do the double in the same year, Italy and France. He shares the record with Jacques Anquetil, Bernard Hinault, and Eddie Merckx for Tour de France wins with 5. So anyway, he was 6'1", 168, and his physical size was huge. His name is Miguel Indurain. Indurain is now 59 years old. Indurain was born in Pamplona. His first bicycle was a second-hand one for his 10th birthday, but it got stolen. But he got a new one and all that. And he did pretty well for himself. At 18 years old, he was the youngest winner of the National Amateur Road Championships. He actually went to the Olympics in 1984 competing, and then turned professional, meaning that you couldn't be in the Olympics anymore because the Olympics were strictly amateur. Anyway, Indurain actually was a leader at the Volta a España. So Indurain's first Tour de France, he dropped out at the 4th stage. And then in 86, he dropped out at the 12th stage. So anyway, Indurain was a good time trialist, but not so great at the Tour de France as it seemed. A lot of people thought that Greg LeMond of the United States was going to win the 91 Tour de France. Indurain could do well with the time trials, but unfortunately, people thought that because of his size, Indurain would be too large to be a good climber because, they got to do the mountain stages. Somehow, in some way, Indurain hung with LeMond, and on the 13th stage, he actually took over and stayed leader to the end. In 1992, he won the Giro d'Italia, another key race, but then of course that was before the Tour de France. Indurain had some tight races and all that. Through the mountain stages, he actually shocked everyone by winning the competition. Indurain's racing style would be established: crush the rivals in the time trials and control them in the mountains. His defensive tactic actually brought criticism from his spoiled hero Bernard Hinault. Says that he's the best rider of his generation, but he's won this tour quietly with great opposition. If the competition continues to let him get away with it, his reign will be a long time. Jealous? Anyway, he won the 93 Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France, doing the double for the 2nd straight year. He decided to ride the bike defensively and all that. But of course, a lot of people said that, it was just it lacked audacity. But he still did well with the things. In 1994, he did well. Unfortunately, though, Indurain tested positive for salbutamol following a tour in France. Not the Tour de France, but of course, the thing found in nasal inhalers was on the controlled substance list of the IOC and the UCI. It was actually allowed for sportsmen with asthma. But in France, it's an outright ban and all that. Anyway, the IOC said, and the UCI said that because it was to legitimately aid his respiration because of his particular asthma, he should be allowed to wear it. People said that the French were trying to ruin Indurain's momentum. We don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, Indurain won the 95 title, winning the 5th straight Tour de France. The only guy of the 5-time winners to do it consecutively. He aimed for a 6th victory and all of that. Unfortunately, bronchitis would bring him down and all of that. He ended up taking 11th place. So anyway, he actually did win the individual time trial at the 96 Olympic Games because the professionals were allowed to be in the cycling events. So he beat some good guys. But he symbolically won a gold medal. That's pretty good and all that. So he decided to retire on New Year's Day 1997. I mean, it was huge and all that. So anyway, he had a weird personality and all that. People did not like him. You know, because of his modesty. Anyway, yeah, he won 5 Tour de France titles. I mean, dude was an icon and all that. He's still an icon. I mean, after all, that stupid disgraced cyclist blew it by doing the drugs and all that. But Indurain did it naturally. And, you know, you got guys like Chris Froome and a few other people who want to chase for 5 titles. But Indurain is the last guy to do it. And he's a cycling icon, so you can't beat that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond, adieu.